Alright guys, a little bit different type of video here today. We're going to be trying to fix up this lawnmower. I got a lawnmower that's self-propelled and is just push, and this one is self-propelled, so I thought this would be a little bit of an upgrade. It kind of runs like shit. Will maybe start, maybe won't. So we're going to dive into the carb today. Kind of try and check out and see what's going on with this. I'm going to try and start it up for you guys here so you can see what's going on. So I've already checked, we got gas and oil. I'm gonna hit the primer like 10 times. This is, you gotta have this down to start it. So I changed nothing there. I was holding it down the whole time. It kind of just sputters and dies. So let's get into the carb on this thing and check it out. Just wanted to clarify, this is a Craftsman 6 3/4 horsepower 21-inch mower. First thing we're gonna do is pop these three screws and take this oil cap off to get the top off. You're gonna need a 1/4 inch to get these off. Let's zap these off real quick with our ratchet. Oh, that is tight. We don't want that. And then obviously put your dipstick somewhere you're okay getting oil. And we're gonna pop this cover off. Oh, I forgot a bolt. There's a fourth one right by the recoil. Alright, these should all be loose. Just keep in mind you do have your recoil attached and your screws still in here. I'm just gonna leave them on. Okay, next we got our carb right down here. I'm guessing this air filter just twists. Comes the housing and the filter comes right out. Filter looks pretty dang crusty. Could definitely get a new one of these. This is our throttle linkage. That play is definitely not right. I'm just gonna squeeze the lever and look right here. Or it's this one. So that's not even, none of that is even moving. None of this is moving when I'm squeezing the throttle, either of the throttle. So this is not hooked up correct right now, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna get this air filter housing off real quick. Kind of annoying how this thing can just roll. So different than working on a little bike. All right, you got your little housing here, 2 Phillips screws or 8 mils, I believe. Next, we're gonna pull these bolts off, holding it onto the intake. Look. All right, so I just popped the exhaust off here, and as we know, that was a 7/16. We're gonna try this ratchet through the back. All right, we should be able to get that nut off with our finger now. Sweet. And just like that, we have our intake bolts off. And we have our carb throttle assembly, or throttle cable, kind of. This fuel line, I don't know if it's just going to leak all the fuel. Oh, of course, the tank's full. I don't know what that's going to do. It might, I'm guessing it's just going to drain all the gas. So let me get something real quick to figure that out. Let's drain the gas. All right, so I cleaned the rust out of this real quick, so this is clean just because I did just put new gas in this like a dummy. Now which one's the gas in line from the tank? I'm following this, I think it's this bottom hose. Oh, let's see if we can just get it to leak out of the carb like that. Never mind, that's gonna take forever because that's gotta be the whole, all the gas in the tank. I believe that's how a carb like this is gonna work. It would need to drain all the gas, you know, which that's gonna take forever. So let's just try to pop this line. Yep, and there's all the gas from our tank coming. And what you can do to prevent it from leaking a little bit more, just zip tie this upwards. Zip ties are your best friend. Now gas can't really leak out of there anymore, and we prevented the leaking to a little bit. Let's get this carb up on the workbench here. All right, so we got our carb up here on the workbench. We're gonna drop the bowl. Freaking Hulk tighten this thing, what the? There's no need for a carb to be that tight. Really not bad at all. There's a little bit of gas in there, a little bit of junk, but oh, this is your drain plug is also your main? That's so weird. It just screws right in. That says 169 on it. You don't know what our problem is. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's gas in the float. So that could definitely be our problem. You never want to see gas in the float. I know that. Let's go ahead and get this float off. So there's clearly a hole somewhere in our float. You can see the gas floating around in the bottom of there. Got our needle here. It's weird there's no rubber tip. Little gasket looks good. Let's take a look at this screw right here. Now I'm guessing this is either this is the fuel air, and it is snug tight. That could have made this hard starting, absolutely. So I'm guessing this is our, I don't know, it kind of looks like a pilot because it has the little hole on the end. No, it's definitely not a pilot because there's no hole all the way through it. So it's either an idler or our fuel air screw. The gas in you can't take out. Our throttle, our butterfly definitely needs to be adjusted because even at closed, it's not 100% closed, if you can see that. So I'm going to unscrew. This is our idle. So I'm going to unscrew that idle just a little bit. And it's just. All right, guys. So as you know, I've mentioned many times, I'm not a master mechanic, but here's what I think is wrong. right here, our butterfly in the carb is closed, which is how it should be. This is our throttle, essentially allowing more gas into the motor. So as this one gets pulled, it should rev up. So that should be happening. And in my opinion, when you squeeze something up there, this should rev up and pull that way, and that would allow it to rev up. And that makes sense that this is our idle. But here's the problem. When I squeeze this top lever, nothing there changes. Nothing changes, okay? And if I grab the bottom lever, nothing there changes. You'll see some changes over on this side, but so I think something is wrong with how this is mounted, because this should be moving as I'm hitting the throttle, and it's just not. So I'm going to play around with these. I'm going to clean this up so I can work on it. I did pull the gas tank and pull the flywheel cover just to give myself a little bit more room. I also did pull the plug, and it looks pretty shitty. I mean, it is brown, so it was running good at one point. But we're going to double check we have good spark, clean this plug up too, because why not? And we're going to keep tinkering. All right, guys, so I played with the carb, cleaned the carb all out. I am still not certain we got the throttle situation figured out, but it's in theory should idle or should be super high or something. It should tell us something. I'm guessing the idle is going to be really high, but let's see what happens. All right, we're gonna try moving one of those pins that kind of holds it wide open and just see what happens. Let me move that real quick. All right, so I just adjusted it essentially to be wide open because small engines like this kind of are just wide open when they're running. So let's see how it runs now. See what we changed. Guys, it runs pretty good. Let me show you what I fixed here. So what I did was I moved this bent cable to the furthest hole forward, which essentially holds the throttle wide open. So it wasn't getting enough throttle to idle high enough, and now we got our mower running good.